Joao. Joao. That's like
Mm.
the band. I mean, you could do a lot with that. Oh, wow. Joao. And my marketing brain is just going wild right now.
100%. So you lost me at Joao. Okay, Vilka.
Yes.
Welcome to Now Making Moves in Real Estate, episode 42. Joining us today is a seasoned real estate professional and investor with a proven track record in residential and commercial contracting. I feel like we do nothing but bring baller real estate professionals to the podcast. So, you know, he is the founder of STF Capital, helping 9 to 5 employees build wealth through strategic real estate investing and passive income strategies. With his expertise in property acquisition, renovation, and value maximization, he's committed to delivering exceptional results and empowering others to achieve financial freedom, which we are all about that. So let's dive into his inspiring journey and expert insights. And I'm going to do my best not to butcher your name because it's such a fabulous name. Joao, Joao Macavilka. Did I say that right?
Yep, you got it.
Yes. Okay. And you get a trophy. Joao. Welcome. And he's coming to us from South Carolina, North Carolina, West Carolina, near the border. South Carolina, North Carolina. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Get it right in that vicinity.
In the Carolinas.
So welcome. Tell us about all about who you are.
Thanks, guys. So, yeah, I don't want to sound cliche, but it's kind of the same story we hear from a lot of people where I grew up pretty much poor. Early memories I have are living in an attic with my parents, who are both, they came in as legal immigrants. Saw them struggle hard growing up, not having much. Um, I was never the best in school, grammar school, high school, none of that stuff. So not because I was dumb versus I just it didn't catch my attention. I was always a C plus, B minus student and just it never interested me, but I always did want, to be well off financially. So, I would take on odd jobs at one point, multiple jobs, and never had enough to be okay and always struggling. And everyone has a pivotal moment in their career, success, something that changed. For me, it's always been the same where I was dating somebody at the time who had a daughter, and I forgot how old I was. I'm pretty old now. I had to be around 19 to 23, somewhere around there. But we were at the mall and they were hungry, and it was an embarrassing moment because I had to go to the bathroom and check my bank account to see if I could even afford lunch for us. And I could not. I had enough to buy one slice of pizza, pepperoni, and a drink. So the camera doesn't show it that much here, but I'm a pretty decent sized guy. I'm 200 pounds. So I can eat. And it was hard for me to say I'm not hungry. But that was pretty much the moment of self realization. I can't provide for a family. I'm working 2 jobs. I dropped out of college and I'm not doing enough. I can't survive. Something's got to change. So it took another few years after that, just reading and looking. And it ended up being finding out later on it was my complacency that was the issue, my comfort. I had a job as a manager. And had I not taken that leap of faith of moving to the Carolinas with, I think I had like $9,000. So I moved down here, didn't have much furniture because if I stayed in Jersey where I'm from originally, I'd probably still be doing that job because it was guaranteed, it was easy. I was getting my yearly raises or promotions here and there. I needed to either go all in on myself. I was either going to make it or fail horribly or go back home. I didn't want that safety net. So I made that plunge. It was hard, but I made it, started reading, doing things myself. And I bought my duplex was my first purchase, bought it for 91,000. And I was very hard headed when I first started this career. No one could tell me better. No one could do it better than I can. No one could do it cheaper than I can. So I'd work nights and weekends, painting floors, appliances, tile. And while yes, I saved some money, I lost so much physical time that it just wasn't beneficial. It took me about a year and a half after that to get my next duplex, and I thought I was doing great. I'm making some money per month. I'm, scaling up, which is what I thought. Then my accountant, who I still have today, said, "Read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad." Read it. It didn't. It didn't hit. The second time I read it, a few months later, is when it clicked, and I was like, "Okay, well, this makes sense." And I'm an introvert, so I can't. I've got partners that can, do a backflip in a room with not knowing anybody and just shaking everyone's hand. I can't do that. I'm gonna wait till it dies down. I'm gonna get a table in the back and relax, um, and do it that way. I'm not an extrovert by any means, but being out with these people, they forced me to go to these events, networking events, meeting other people. It was just so eye opening seeing other people that have the same mindset, have that same hunger, same goals, that have gone through things I have gone through or that will go through eventually, and giving you advice and insight and helping out so much. It's just been game changing. I've been able to scale from 4 to, I think I'm at 89 right now, and we've got more pending as we speak. And then the next book that helped me a lot, which I recommend a lot, is Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. That's been a
Read it.
game changer
Yeah.
for me. Um,
Yeah.
it helped me hire more people and let them do what they do great at. So I mean that's just a quick background on me.
Well, how does that look, like your structure as far as hiring? Like, what does the composition look like for you?
So that book helped me a lot with like social media, for example. I'm on Instagram checking out funny videos all day, but that doesn't help me post. I would say I can. I can make posts, but I'm not good at it. I can't do it every single day. I don't know excuse my age. I don't know what's hip right now. I don't know what's trending. I don't do the little dances. Like I can't do that. So, but reading Who Not How, that's fine. It's just not where you excel. So I needed to find someone that does excel in that. And I interviewed, I think it was 100 social media managers, got down to 20, got down to 5, got down to 1. And she just took the ideas and just went for it. Say, hey, share your photos, my photos for construction and everything. Share them. Share all the markets you've done. And she takes them, makes posts. She engages with people. She's growing my social media. I think I was at like 210 when I first started. And last I checked, we were at 89,000. Um,
Wow.
I think I do have a TikTok. I don't know the name. She does all that. And then she does all the emails and whatnot and just tells me, hey, how do we answer this? What do you want to do here? She's grown that tremendously where that also has networked more people that in my eyes, I could always do more. But it's amazing to see brand new investors reach out. Hey, I saw your post. What can I do? And be able to guide them to how to do it, where to go, or tell them, hey, I'm going to be at this project on this day. Come by, hang out for the day. Let's grab some lunch, ask whatever questions you want, see how I order, see what my guys do, and just grow. And I tell them all the same thing. I don't want anything in return because they're always like, oh, I can pay for your time. I don't need that. I just want someone you to help the next person. So you're gonna run into somebody just like I did that needs help. Help them out because it's a scary. Investing is pretty scary. You got to know what to do and on plan B, C, and D ready to go.
Yeah. So, no coaching program or mastermind group. It's literally just like, hey, you're going to give some advice if somebody reaches out to you.
Not yet. That's the next step. We're actually doing a construction run because I have two partners that bought the buildings with me. They're like,
Uh-huh.
listen, you when something hits you, you take it on right away. You need to help others. And I was like, yeah, just call me, just text me. And people do, but sometimes it takes too long. But one example was we bought a 12 unit in North Carolina, and I'm used to just being hired to do the work. And sometimes I get equity, sometimes I won't. This is the first time I became part owner. So I thank them for that. Oh, and they have been amazing partners and now really close friends, like brothers to me. So the day we closed was Monday at 10 a.m. At 1 p.m., we get a call that the main drain from the whole building burst. So everyone had like little bit of water, and it's yours now. It's ours. Like it's our issue to deal with. So We do what we always do. We call up 3 or 4 people. I forgot what I was doing that I was on those first calls. The first bid came back at, I want to say 19,000, 16,000, and then around 15,500. And then I get in the call. I'm like, why? What for? Walk me through why it's that much. And they sent me their scope of work, and I was like, no, we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. We do need these three things. How much for just these three? And end of the day, with getting it checked, repaired, and fixed, we walked away with like $3,600 versus the initial. And I was pretty happy. They were ecstatic. They're like, "This is crazy." And I was like, "They're like, how'd you do it?" I was like, "I've been doing this for years. They're not gonna pull a fast one on me. Like, I speak their language. I know what we do need, what we don't need. They're not gonna get over on me." So
Mhm.
ever since then, it's just been, "Hey, this is the budget. What can we do?" And one of the like introduction value add has been amazing on everything we're doing to the point where we're starting to make money on day one of a closing, and it's been great. I can't ask for better partners or better people. And that's to your earlier question. They want me to help create a construction program for new investors of what do you look for, what should you buy, where do you buy, how do you ask for discounts? Because one thing everyone asks me is where do you get things from. For me, it's usually depending what it is. Like for renovations, Home Depot. Oh, the prices are too expensive. Go to the store, talk to the manager. Tell them you're an investor. Tell them you're part of, CREA, BIA, whatever group you are. There's 40 of you in there or more, and just say, hey, we can buy it as a bulk. What can you do to help us out? And they want your business, so they're gonna work with you on some kind of discount, some kind of program. Like I have one Home Depot by me where I have 6 bays or pallets dedicated to just my company, so I can order things 6 months in advance, and they'll hold it for me and deploy it as I need. So I mean,
That's great.
that just came from talking.
And is the properties that you're purchasing primarily multifamily? Do you have a avatar for what you look for?
So I started with, residential and small multifamily. Now it's commercial, 30 plus. We realized very quickly buying a 12 unit is almost identical to buying a 30 plus unit as far as numbers go and work and paperwork and everything. So, and I like multifamily a lot more than residential just because I have, I don't know, 6 or 7 residentials on me now. And each one is built by a different builder, different year, different time frame, different HVAC, plumbing, everything's different. The commercial, they're all the same exact thing. So I have more buying power with, my HVAC guy, more buying power with Home Depot or Lowe's, whoever. I know it's pretty much lick and stick. It's the same thing over and over. And I can have extra materials on site versus I don't know what I'm gonna run into with this next house, next year, next build.
And then sorry to keep asking, I'm so intrigued because I love all this, but so do you renovate and hold or do you renovate and resell typically?
95% I'm holding it just because I've sold
Mhm.
them before. And yeah, let me give you an example. I sold one property and I made probably $45,000. Had I held it on the refi, I would have made maybe 16, 17. But 2 years later with the appreciation, I would have easily made 100 more on that. So going forward, I
Mm.
don't sell unless I have to. Otherwise, I'm holding it long term because again, you've got tenants paying the mortgage and insurance, and you might make something monthly, but you're more in there for the appreciation. I'm not in this for the quick cash versus the long term and building that generational wealth.
Mhm. I think it's like a lot of investors like yourself when if they look back on their deals, they're like, "Man, I wish I would have like held on to 99% of
Oh
them
my God.
instead of flipping quick cash."
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy today earlier, and she was like, it's hard to find things in Greenville, South Carolina. And I was like, I see it all the time. I got a duplex there. I bought it for 205. I put 70 into it, kept it, and it appraised 3 years ago at 415. And I could have bought the house next door. I lost it by 10 grand. I could have bought the house across the street, lost that by 20. Had I just forked it up and not been stingy, that would have been extra 300-ish equity. I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I'm about to just pull the trigger.
So you're mainly on the multifamily housing, you're buying existing structures and then renovating them,
Yes.
right? You're not doing new builds.
No, correct. New builds from a lot of GCs. I'm also a commercial general contractor from North and South Carolina. So speaking with a lot of GCs, they have meetups just like what investors do. And
Right.
it's actually a lot easier for new build than it is for renovation, which makes sense now to me. I never put the two and two together because you don't have to worry about the size of this wall, the depth of this, the inspections, the new codes. It's all brand new. There's nothing in your way. There's nothing that isn't leveled correctly or off. It's brand new. So, okay, well, it's something I'm open to.
Mm, have a mix of both.
Exactly. Diversify.
Yeah, and then, like, contribute to building, you know, neighborhoods and
Right.
contributing to the yeah,
Okay.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah, I have a question regarding the tax side of things. Our most of the people listening to our podcast are realtors, and many of us invest. And one thing that I did not do we have a boutique hotel, my husband and I. We didn't do cost segregation, and I'm thinking that was a big mistake. And I also didn't realize you could do it on single family homes. Is that something that you guys utilize for tax breaks, or
Yes.
are you familiar?
Yeah, we
okay.
had bought that 54 unit a month ago. We got the cost segregation done 2 days ago. So it can help a lot with
Oh.
paper losses and everything. So we get them done as everywhere we can. I mean, we want to make it look as much as a loss on paper as we can. And also city and say, hey, we're renovating this whole community. Obviously taxes will go up, but we're bringing more value to this community. Can we keep the taxes in abatement for however many years so they won't raise it on us?
And they usually is that programs already in place where you have these buildings, or are you literally negotiating out
We're negotiating with the
with
city because they do want to bring more money and more people, more stability to the area. And that's what we're coming and doing. We're making sure everything is modern, up to date, and there's so much more construction going on. I highly doubt to get them for scrap. And if anything, they'll give us a tax credit for it.
That's great.
So you're doing all of your deals in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. And are you going to be expanding? And yet, I mean, gosh, there's so many states over there that are
Open door for people like yourself to build.
So it's funny because I'm part of a group called the BIA. It's a Nate Barger owns it. I'm part of one that's four masterminds now. I was always against them originally, but after joining the first one, it makes sense. I've surpassed so many things that I would have run into that could have hurt a lot, and they helped me get around it. But to your question, I have my North Carolina commercial GC license, who has 11 state reciprocity. So I've got a buddy. She's in West Virginia. She reached out a week ago and said she's buying a hotel, wants to convert it to assisted living, and can I help with that? So calling the city. All I got to do is take the state law exam. Once I pass that, I'm licensed there. On Florida, same thing. Just got to go down there, take the state exam. As long as there's reciprocity, I just got to take that state exam and pass it, and then I'm a commercial general contractor licensed in that state. So I'll expand anywhere it makes sense. I think my 2025 goals are Tennessee because it's right there, West Virginia because there's an opportunity right there, and then just put another one or two, and then see what we can do. I mean, biggest thing I bring on is like you said, the value add, taking that pressure off with construction and things like that. We got a bid because I've got a certain amount of guys working for me. I've got my subs. So the 54 unit, for example, we right now we're all in with materials, labor, everything going around 13 and a half, $14,000 per apartment. And we got a bid from a local contractor because, just in case we have 10 going on at once, we need backup. There's a first bid came back at 18,000 just labor. Then we're like, this isn't, we're nowhere near where we need to be. Came back at 16,000. And my partners are like, well, this is right. This is in your field and you do it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna raise my price at this point. But no, I'm not gonna do that. That's the whole reason in value add, and it's been eye opening. So I've always had that mindset of I can do more, I can get better, I can make it more efficient. So it's good to see, what we people are charging out there and how much stress I'm taking off my partners.
I seen all those pricing sound great to me here in California.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to come out our way?
They're not.
There's no red tape. County totally works with you.
Oh my God.
It's so cheap here. Oh,
All her car stores in California's rules and regulations. I was like, oh,
yeah. No. No.
but the houses are
So, with your company that you founded, how many people do you have in your organization?
so direct employees working for me. We've got about 7 or 8. As far as my subs go, who are my HVAC guys, my electric guys, we're in the 30s, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay.
But I can't afford an HVAC guy full time or an electric guy full time. So they just, I call them up, hey, I got this, what can you do for me? And they'll give me the good pricing. Like I've got a full system installed in my house. It cost me like 10 grand and local market rate because it's 3 floors, 4,300 square feet would have cost me 31,000. So I'm like, no, I'm not,
Mhm.
man. Well, they take care of me because I take care of them.
Right. It's got to be a win-win, though, for
Exactly.
sure. So it sounds we love stories like yours with like humble beginnings and like taking the risks, great, learning a lot, leaning into resources like books and mentors and so forth. So for our listeners, what would be like your biggest, piece of advice for those that are like, is what you're doing is on like a next level. Come on. Yeah.
Thank you.
So for somebody that's, like, trying to check their checking account in the restroom to buy pizza to, the investor that you are, what advice would you give people that are listening to persevere and do what you've done?
I would say take that leap. Believe in yourself. If you really want it, it's gonna happen. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm comfortable now, but I've fallen many times. And the difference is I'm getting up every single time. I'm gonna realize what went wrong and not do it that way again. Network, even if you don't have money to buy a property, network. Go to these events and meet other investors. Get their phone number, get their Facebook or whatever social media. Ask them questions. I had yet to meet an investor new or 100 millionaire status that won't take your call or won't sit down with you and talk to you and guide you. There's so many ways out there. Like I have a friend that say I don't have money to get invested. Okay, well, do you have a computer? You can wholesale in different states. You can, be someone's boots on the ground. There's ways to get in there. It's just how bad do you want it? So, I mean, I don't have to take a no for an answer. Something to
Wow, find a deal, you'll find the money.
exactly. I mean, if you find a good
You
deal
want,
and you can't buy it,
right?
I'll give you $5,000 for it.
Right. Love that. How about do you want it? Never hungry. You always gotta be hungry. Anyone that is successful is curious and hungry.
Yeah, it's always, especially growing up, seeing everyone having something and me not being able to have it. So why can't I have it? And realizing now my parents worked 12-hour shifts just to be okay. And it was an amazing experience. I think it was 2 years ago. I'm Peruvian by descent. So my father's 72, grew up in Peru for 35 years and visits there every year. He's never been to Machu Picchu, like hiking you, and he's from there. So 2 years ago, I was able to go with him and do the 5-day hike, and experience that with him. And a few months later, we went to Europe, Italy, Greece, Rome, and my father was different today than he was growing up. Very strict, very hard, very macho. Now he's talking all that, and he just tells me it was last year where I know you had a hard life coming up, you and your sister. Um, his father walked out on him, so he never had that figure, and he just wanted to say he's proud of what I've done and what I've built, and he wishes he can be around as I bring this on to the next generations. And I don't know why it hit me so hard. I was not expecting that, and it made me stop and just look around. Of I do have more than I thought I'd have, and I'm nowhere near done of where I need to be. So it was just very touching to hear that from him, and to just hear it from someone like I'm proud of you of what you've been able to accomplish, and I can never do this. So I'm glad you were able to break that.
Ugh. Well, on that note, that's incredible, because some people don't ever get that.
So that's wonderful that he gave you that, acknowledgement. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. So appreciate it.
Very impressive, all that you've done. I can't wait to follow your journey and see your next projects. You mentioned you're on Instagram. Is that the best place for people to find you? He doesn't even know. He knows he didn't take it out. He knows his I'm joking. I was just saying, like, you don't know. You didn't know what's going on. We should have reached out to his people. Yeah.
The funny thing is, I have Instagram, but I don't know the username, but I can get that sent to you.
Oh snap! I'll look it up so that way people know, so we can get you over the 90,000 mark. Yeah, you're not there yet. Let's see.
Right.
Let's see. Let's see. I'm Joao.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops. Okay.
I just think it's like amazing. There should be some kind of marketing pitch on that. Wow.
I'm off.
Oh, you're at 102,000 followers, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
102,000.
That's awesome.
You went up. So it's Joao. So Joao Mac, MAC underscore STF
There you go.
for your STF Capital. Just so you know, and everyone else, so they can follow you.
Wait.
Well, I guess we're gonna try to get you to 200,000.
Yeah. That's awesome. There you go. It's funny because Kyra, she's my social media manager. She made me a background, so when she sees it, she's gonna during our meeting, she's gonna bring it up. She made me a background that has my name, the company, all the tags, all that. When you said that, I was like, oh crap, I forgot to use it again.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
We might have to do this again.
Photoshop it in there somehow. There.
There you go.
We'll see what our editor can do.
Oh, I appreciate
So
that. Likewise, do you guys?
Maybe next time we're out there, we're going to Miami next year. Maybe you could come.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too far. Miami, the Carolinas.
Always a reason to go out to Florida. By all means, let me know when. I'll be there.
Okay, we will. All right. Good. Thank you so much. And we will, like I said, we'll have to do this again sometime.
Yes.
I have to meet you.
Thank you guys. Likewise.